Hello, good morning. Jessica Miller here. Hold on. What you need, Jason? Oh, he's walking away. How are you? It's good to see you. Welcome to my page where we're going to talk about. Sorry, there's so many pop-ups. It's so distracting to me to have all these pop-ups. But we're going to talk about jury trial number 11 today. I'm getting so close to being caught up on my blogs and my lives. So I'm very excited about this. Maybe in a week or two. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But today we're talking about number 11. This is the jury trial involving Justice for Murphy, who is a dog. And I say it that way because when we were talking about this case, while it was to Murphy, my dog is here. And so we would always say Justice for Murphy, the dog, not Murphy, the person. So, and I know that's a terrible joke, but that's just how I refer this case. So Murphy was a pit bull. He's a cute little puppy in 2015 when I handled this case. And I have added a picture of him onto the blog post itself so you can see what he looked like. The case actually occurred in 2014. So 2015, he was when we did the trial, and he was a full-grown dog by then. And you will remember this is not the first time that I handled animal cruelty. I did the case with the containers full of puppies. That was a court trial. This was my first jury trial where I had to handle animal cruelty and Butte County jurors. And what I learned is that people because there was a lot of people who did not feel they could be fair and impartial when it comes to individuals who abuse animals. But we got a jury eventually, and the defendant was eventually convicted. What basically happened in this case is that our defendant owned Murphy as a puppy, and a neighbor one day heard the defendant yelling at Murphy, and they could hear sounds like punching, throwing, yelping, and it sounded like the dog was being beat. And so she called animal control. Animal control comes out, and sure enough, they find Murphy, who's got injuries all over his body. He's got a swollen face, he's bleeding, he has a broken femur. There was a lot of injuries to this dog. So the dog was seized, taken to a vet. The injuries were confirmed, and notably, they were in various states of healing, which means that those injuries did not all occur at the same time. They happened over time, and which was helpful to us because it, in terms of proof, because it showed that this was not an isolated event or an accident. This was something that was ongoing, and so the defendant was interviewed by animal control, and he gave all sorts of excuses. I think I counted them. There was like 12 different excuses for every single injury. The dog got his foot caught in a fence. The dog got in a fight with other dogs. The dog was running along next to a bicycle and got ran over. The list goes on and on and on. But ultimately, the defendant also got on the stand and came up with more excuses about why this particular dog was as injured as he was. The jury did not believe him and convicted him of animal cruelty. And in this case, sometimes jurors aren't asked to, but they choose to stick behind. And this jury stuck behind because they wanted to know what happened to the dog. They wanted to make sure the dog was safe, that the dog was adopted out, and actually it's a happy story because this dog became the mascot of the Paradise Animal Control Center for a while. I don't know where Murphy is now. I probably should have checked in to see where he was, but this was 2015, so it's been a while. But he was actually adopted by one of the animal control officers, and they did this cute little piece on the two of them because Murphy would go to other calls and kind of became their little mascot, which I think is just a good feel-good story for this particular case. One of the interesting things I wanted to highlight about animal cruelty in California is that there's a couple of things that are required by the law that we do in cases where people abuse animals. First of all, if they are granted probation, defendants have to go through an animal abuse course to learn the correct ways to treat animals. Second of all, they have to pay all of the costs associated with rehabilitating the animal back to health. And so it's the vet costs, the feeding, all of that is tacked onto their restitution that they owe towards the end. And so I believe that with the injuries and the care prior to adoption, it was almost $12,000 that this defendant was ordered to pay in terms of the care that was needed to make Murphy whole again. Another thing that I will just point out is that we find that individuals who abuse animals tend to upgrade their crimes over time to violent crime. And so we usually take these cases not only seriously because of the victims that are involved, they are animals that can't tell you what's going on, and so they really need a voice in the community, and I think that's why people get so up in arms about these types of crime. But also, it's an indicator that someone may be violent in the future against a person, and so we want to make sure that we do our best to try and get that curbed at the outset so that we don't have later violent crimes occurring with victims who get hurt as well. So that is it. I am putting a link to the blog post in the comments. If you want to see a picture of Murphy, it will be there. He's the cutest little dog ever. And I hope you guys have a good Super Bowl Sunday, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.